Hello, thank you for watching this video. I'm going to give you a little bit of context. So basically, I'm going to explain my experience at the International Book Fair, where the country of honor was South Korea, and I get to be part of the staff of the National Museum of Gwacheon. I got to meet the director and the team leader, and also I got to do an interview to them. And yeah, I'm going to leave some pictures here to show you the museum and the stand of the museum. So yeah, let's watch the video. Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for being here. This video is going to be really short because I'm going to tell you my experience at the bookstore this year in Colombia, Bogota. So basically the mission for September is, let me just read it aloud for you. It is introducing awesome Koreans around you. Okay, since we have the thematic of introducing awesome Koreans around you, I mean, I live in Colombia, and due to my work, I don't go out as much as I wanted to, but I had the opportunity to be part of the staff of the book fair that the country of honor was South Korea. So I was part of the staff of the National Museum of Gwacheon. Since I was part of the staff, I was able to meet awesome people, especially Koreans, because I mean the country of honor was South Korea. So since I was part of the staff, I get to know and get to meet three different people, which are Lee Jungmo, and Chung Kwang-hun, and Lee Heran. I mean, those three were one of the people that I met and I had most contact with, because they were part of the staff of the museum directly. I mean, Lee Jungmo was the director of the museum, and I get to do an interview for Korea.net for honorary reporters. Okay, so just to put a context, why the book fair? What am I saying, bookstore? What the book fair in Colombia? So basically, it is tradition. It is an event that is traditional here in Colombia to have the International Book Fair in Bogota, which is FILBO. So, since Colombia was one of the countries, the only Latin country that took part in the Korean War to support South Korea, well, I mean, all of that stuff about war that you may already know, the war between Koreas, and that South Korea requested some help from other countries, and Colombia was the only Latin America who got to help South Korea. So South Koreans are really grateful for that matter, and they get to an agreement to do like the book fair for each country. For example, in Colombia, the country of honor will be South Korea, and in South Korea, for the International Book Fair of South Korea, the country of honor was Colombia. So due to that matter, the whole fair was around the Korean culture, and in Korea it was about Colombian culture. So that's why I get to meet a lot of Koreans, and also I got to be part of the staff of the museum, since my career is related to science and all of that. I get to be part of the staff. Okay, so let me explain you why I choose these people as my mission for September. Okay, starting with Lee Jungmo, which is basically the director of the National Museum of Gwacheon. I mean, when I got to do the interview, which is only in Spanish, I'm going to link the report down here, the article. I got to know like another phase of science. Since I was a kid, I was used to see science as the hardest part of everything. I know I like science, but for most people, mathematics, physics, chemistry, it's really hard because you don't see that. You cannot. It is not tangible. It is not physical. You have to imagine, but it is always the equal thing. So basically, what I get when I get to interview the director, I get to see another point of view. So in the interview, he told me that the science is hard. He knows that science is hard. He has been studying it a lot of time, science. But for little kids or for people of normal who doesn't have a career related to science, it must be easy, like to take examples and do it on your own, to see that on your daily life. So there was a bunch of experiments at this stand where it showed different fundamentals in physics and in chemistry, and it was to get fun. I mean, when I asked different visitors why they thought about it, they said that it was fun, that they didn't see that as science, that if when they were kids they explained that way science, it wouldn't have traumatized them as much as they are now. So I think that to get a point of proof directly from the director that handles the museum, who knows how to explain science in a different way, it was amazing because not everything has to be hard. I mean, if you take, for example, I don't know, to study space or something real difficult, it will be because, I mean, those things are difficult, but for the fundamentals and to have like something basic, it shouldn't be hard. So that's why I think this interview was amazing, because it opened my mind really to know that point of view. And obviously from a country that, when you think of South Korea, you think how intelligent they are, how a country can develop so fast due to people values and also to people discipline and all of that. So I think when you get when you get that point of view that science doesn't have to be hard, you understand why South Korea has grown so much. We're going to pass to the second interview, which is Mr. Chung Kwan-hun. Okay, so he is a PhD in physics. He is the team leader of some part of the museum. What I get from him is that no matter whatever question you have, if you have someone who can have the answer, do not hesitate to question them. I mean, that person amazed me because he has a PhD in physics, and that it really impressed me. I was out of words like I am right now, because to have to have your mind on a setup that you're going to dedicate your entire life to physics, that must be another level. So I was really impressed by him, and what I learned from him is that really no matter whatever questions you have, if you have someone that may have the answer, please ask that question, because you may create another type of thinking. Because normally when I was a kid at school, I was afraid of asking my teachers because I felt like I was dumb and that I didn't pay attention to the class. But when you have someone whose life is dedicated to a matter and you ask them, they explain you with so much love that you feel, oh my god, that you feel inspired to also like maybe study more about it and to ask them more. So I think that it just amazed me. And yeah, I was really impressed to that capability of amazing people. And also I know that the doctor didn't have a very good level of English, but that didn't matter. He always tried to answer all of our questions, even though with Google Translator, with everything, with mimics, everything. It was amazing. And yeah, I mean, it's amazing to have those kind of people on Earth, really, because they are the ones who create all the inventions and everything. The third one is Mrs. Iheran. She's a PhD in chemistry, and she was the one who had the best level in English. Due to that, I was able to communicate better with her and ask her some questions. I didn't interview her, but I got to have the most close experience, because she told about the museum, and she told us about how people used to take their children to the museum no matter what happened. I mean, here in Colombia, we don't have the culture of taking our little kids to museums, especially if they're of science. So yeah, I mean, I did have an amazing experience at the book fair, being part of the staff of the National Museum of Gwacheon. It was amazing, and that's why I decided to do this video in English, because I already uploaded an article in Spanish, which is going to be linked down below. But yeah, if you have the opportunity, if you are in that region, if you have the opportunity, and if you are in South Korea, please go to the National Museum of Gwacheon. I mean, if I was in South Korea, I will gladly do it, because I had an amazing experience here in Colombia with them. And yeah, that's it. That's basically my mission for September. I hope you have an amazing day, and thank you for listening to me. I'm going to link all my different social media around me, and yeah, that's it. I hope you have an amazing day. Bye bye.
Wow.